I'm looking for America.
We're American and be proud. Go to gusset.com/America.
The land of the free and the home of the brave. Seems like I just woke up one day and it was gone, long gone. But I know in my heart it's still
Again,
there.
go to gusset.com/America today.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
I would stand in line for this. There's always room in life for this. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Then it fell apart. It fell apart. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Then it fell apart. It fell apart. Oh, baby.
Lindsey Williams is our guest for another 20 minutes or so, maybe 30. I want to go to Alicia, George, Nancy, Angela, Lee, and others that want to talk to Lindsey. And Lindsey, I know these people's names. I know who they are. I knew who the other Mr. X was before he died of cancer. I know who the other person is and his wife, who Lindsey worked with on the Trans-Alaskan Pipeline. He's good friends with her, and he's really creeping me out because he just told me, he said, listen, they brought you up and said they know you're having a big effect and the elite are watching you. They brought you up. I didn't bring you up to them, Alex. It is creepy because I've got to do what I'm doing. And you know, I'm not perfect. I'm a worldly guy. You know, I pray every day that God keep me on the straight and narrow, but I don't willfully join in evil. I don't like what the globalists are doing. And it's so ruthless what they're doing. And Lindsey, we're also saying that the elitists you talk to are a little bit freaked out as well. Because it's one thing to be part of this corrupt system, but as it nears its fruition, and as this world satanic government is about to be openly born, this eugenics government, in their words, of mass death and evil, I've talked to a medical doctor. I know the head of state she's treated. And this head of state said, I'm freaked out about what's about to happen. Lindsey, repeat to the listeners what you just told me.
You sure you want me to say this over the air? I mean, this is interesting. Alex, I guess the best way to punctuate this is to say misery loves company. Because I've known these people for a number of years, and they've never brought you up. But all of a sudden, you seem to be coming up in some of the emails I'm getting. And I know as a result that you're making such a major impact out there right now on the whole nation. You know, here a while back, we traveled across the country, and I would pick up on the motorhome, I'd pick up your radio programs from here and yonder. I mean, you really are impacting the nation.
No, I understand, but I mean, specifically, it's creepy. It's creepy to have them talking about, you know, they're examining me, and you yourself have gotten death threats. I've gotten those as well, but not death threats from these guys. You got death threats from the other fella. But I mean, specifically here, I know you're holding something back on me. I mean, you say they're bringing me up. I mean, in what context?
Well, they're bringing you up in the fact that you're making such a, okay. I don't know whether it would be millions that you're reaching or whether it would be the impact that you're making. They didn't necessarily talk about the things that you're saying, even though I'm sure that that's the bottom line of the whole thing. But as I say, misery loves company. I'm glad you're out there now so that we can all keep company together in them knowing who we are and listening to what we said. They're listening to your programs. They're monitoring you. And I'm getting, next time I get one of these emails in which you are alluded to, I'll ship it off to you and have your producer give it to you. I'd like you to see what they're thinking about you.
Well, I appreciate you doing that. I don't like having to confront David Rockefeller or have others on that do it. I don't like having to talk about the Pentagon and Halliburton and DynCorp caught running child kidnapping rings. But, I mean, if you don't speak out against them, it's approval. And I can't have that on my soul, on who I am. I couldn't sleep at night. I mean, I do little things, and later my conscience eats me up. And I just can't help it. And I don't like that I get death threats. I don't like that my family's in danger and all the stuff that I've had happen. But I don't really talk about it on air. But I mean, I've got to be against these people. I mean, I don't know any other way. It's just what they're doing is fundamentally wrong, Lindsay.
Well, it sure is. And 35 years ago, when I had been a pastor of a church for 12 years, and then I went to Alaska as an aviation missionary. I'd been brought up in a wonderful Christian home with godly parents, never exposed to anything like the dastardliness of these elitists. And I sat in their board meetings for 3 years' time and listened to what they had to say. And Alex, when I got through, I felt such a moral obligation. But yeah,
exactly. Stay there, Lindsay. Stay there. We're coming right back with phone calls. Finish that up. Get into the gold.
If you own a septic system, or if you're facing costly septic system replacement, this message is for you. When you want to stop paying for pump outs and avoid backups, when you've had enough of the foul odors and costly repairs, use BioSafe One Septic Solution. Now there's an easy-to-use, 100% guaranteed answer to all your septic system problems. BioSafe One Septic Solution. BioSafe One is patented and made specifically for all septic systems, and made by the same team of scientists who helped clean up the Exxon Valdez oil spill. BioSafe One decontaminates and removes sludge, stops costly pump outs and repairs, and removes septic system stench, all with a 100% success rate. See what gives BioSafe One Septic Solution the advantage over any other septic product at biosafeone.com. That's BIOSAFEONE.com. biosafeone.com. Or call toll-free 1-866-424-6663. That's 1-866-424-6663. BioSafe One, the guaranteed, bio-friendly, money-saving way to clean your septic system.
They helped to create a new world order.
We are part of a new world order.
A new world order based upon collective action.
Invisible Empire is a damning indictment of the globalists through their own words and documents.
The New World Order really is a tool for addressing a new world of possibilities.
It means all the world under their control.
The United Nations would take over America. The Trilateral Commission would control the world.
Invisible Empire chronicles how men of power and influence have worked in stealth for centuries to establish an oppressive world government.
I believe, first of all, that we now need nothing short of a world constitution for the global financial system.
Global governance with the establishment of the G20.
So it's going to be an inner ruling elite and then everyone else. And I got news for you. You're everyone else.
Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
New year, new way to smoke, and it's totally wicked. Introducing Totally Wicked e-liquid electronic cigarettes, the highest quality e-cigarettes in the world. With Totally Wicked e-liquid cigarettes, there's no flame, no secondhand smoke, no carbon monoxide, no tar, no unsightly brown teeth or fingers, and no lingering smell. Totally Wicked e-liquid cigarettes have a battery charge that lasts up to 8 hours. Plus, with a Totally Wicked Tornado model, the average pack-a-day smoker is likely to save over $1,000 a year. The Totally Wicked Tornado provides a storm of vapor. See it at totallywicked-eliquid.com. That's totallywicked-eliquid.com. Or call 888-761-9425. Get a 15% discount with promo code GCNLive. Go to totallywicked-eliquid.com or call 888-761-9425. That's 888-761-9425. Or online at totallywicked-eliquid.com. Totally Wicked e-liquid cigarettes, the next generation of alternative smoking.
We now take you live
to the Central Texas Command Center
in the heart of the resistance. You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
You know, you read the Bible and it talks about the spirit of certain cities, how cities had a wicked spirit or they felt bad. The prophets would feel oppressed upon entering them. And I remember in Sunday school not really understanding that. And I was just talking during the break about Jaron's like, yeah, I don't like going to the zoo. It has a bad vibe. And you go to the animals aren't happy. You go to Los Angeles, and everybody I talk to, I mean, it has a, I know we're actually on in Los Angeles, not bashing you. I mean, I love Malibu and the beautiful coast. But there is a oppressive vibe. Some people like it that I've run into, but very few. I mean, there's like a spirit of evil. And when I look at China and I see the things they do, and I watch their party meetings on YouTube, I mean, this is, and I know their works are so wicked. And I see the works of, and also D.C. has a horrible vibe. I mean, these are evil cities because they have evil in them. And, of course, at a spiritual level, how would you quantify that from a Christian perspective, Pastor Williams, what I'm talking about nations being turned over to evil, cities being turned over to evil? You know, as a Christian, you would say, and I would say, this isn't just that there is a feeling in the city from the, you know, group consciousness, the group collective, the group subconscious, as psychologists believe, because, you know, they certainly pick it up as well. They try to quantify it scientifically. You would say there's actually a demon over that city, wouldn't you?
Yes. China's Mao murdered more people than Stalin did. And yet we want to go and trade with them today and bring that spirit back to the United States of America. I mean, we're cutting our own throats. They don't want to trade with us for the sake of being able to necessarily just sell us things. Now, I don't know, this sounds strange, but they want our technology. Every single time Caterpillar, General Motors, anybody else goes on and builds a plant, they say, give us all of your patents, give us all of your technology, or we will not let you build the plant. It's not the trade with America that they're interested in. They're interested in the technology, and once they get it, they'll turn around and throw it right back in our face, just like the Japanese did. We gave them all of our steel prior to the last war, and they turned around and shot it right back at our soldiers. We're going to have the same thing out of China, mark my words. And Mr. Fromm said to me back nearly 2 years ago, he said, Chaplain, don't pay any attention to all of these other countries of the world. He said, even when there's a conflict over there in the Middle East, which, of course, by the way, you've heard me say that they want it in the next few months' time if they can get it, to take attention off things. He said, don't pay attention to that. He said, that's not the real issue. He said, the real place you want to watch, and these are his exact words, he said, China is the big one. Folks, watch what's happening in China and Russia, and we are importing that evil right to America. Alex?
What did he specifically say dealing with China? I mean, just that they're going to take us over or be used as the muscle or a war?
Well, basically, they're going to take us over. I don't think there'll be necessary. He never. Okay, I'll put it this way.
Well, you know why they're taking over?
War with the United States of America.
No, I mean they're taking us over.
North Korea is concerned. He did mention the fact that they basically will take us over. They will get all of our technology. They'll get everything from Boeing. They'll learn our stealth bomber secrets. They'll learn all the things they can by getting Caterpillar and General Motors and everybody else to go over there. They'll get our computer technology. And then once they've gotten it, they'll say, to hurry with you, we don't need you around. After all, if Mao murdered that many people years ago, more than Stalin, they wouldn't think a thing in the world about stealing all of our technology and then dropping us like a hot potato and turning those plants. Listen, I watched them nationalize things many years ago when I was a pastor in Florida. I watched the Bahamas nationalize all industry. I mean, Owens Corning had a huge farming venture out there. It was worth billions, probably. I used to see them fly out in their 707s on a regular basis when I was out there for seminars. And then the Bahamas turned right around one day out of a clear blue sky for no known reason and said, Americans, you don't own this. We never gave you the right to have it. They took over every single bit of it and ran the Americans out. The Chinese will do the identical same thing. And once they've gotten all of our patents and our technology, they will nationalize everything, including the industry that we've sent over there, in total bankruptcy by the time they're finished. Mark my words, you cannot do business with a nation that has the background and history that this is. But there again, you've got to realize where all this started. George Bush Sr., Daddy Bush, was the ambassador to China many years ago when China was a totally closed society. Nobody got in and out except him. And George Bush started every bit of this. His son finished it up when he was in there. And now today we are seeing new world order, global trade, all of these agreements, and it every bit started with Daddy Bush many years ago.
Well, I agree with you, but he was known as the Rockefeller Republican. He was the direct legate or gopher of David Rockefeller, who praises Mao in the New York Times, many other publications, even after it's known that he's the greatest mass murderer in history. And he was dispatched there. They signed the eugenics agreement for the one-child policy. They were then given unlimited funding, and the CFR said, you will now be given all the power. And they they are going to use China to bring the United States down. And people are like, well, we have this big military. They can't. The criminals run America.